If you're like me, having grown up during the 80s when the internet was not yet ubiquitous and little was known about our favorite celebrities, then a film like the documentary on Prince, Mr. Nelson on the North Side will be an eye-opener for having a look at the life of Prince Rogers Nelson. I think its 3 sections or acts isn't the traditional kind that takes the main character, in this case the celebrity's celebrity Prince, on a journey of transformation. Although we get a glimpse of how Prince transformed from a shy young man to the global icon that he became, the 3-act structure of this film instead presents a story of Prince that makes him relatable, yet never lessening his legendary status. Directed by Daniel Dorr and Eric Wiegand, Mr. Nelson on the North Side, or the Japanese title of the film, Prince, Beautiful Strange, is a documentary that delves into the life of legendary musician Prince. Music icons like Chuck D. Orianthi and Shaka Khan share never-before-told stories about Prince as both performer and a person. Their insights reveal how Prince's unique creativity inspired them to do their best work. The film has been praised for its intimate portrayal of Prince as a fellow human going beyond the typical celebrity narrative. It covers his childhood, upbringing, and musical philanthropy, providing a fresh perspective on this iconic artist. If you're a Prince fan like me, or simply curious about his life, this documentary is well worth your time. Chronicling the larger-than-life story of Prince into a documentary film would be a daunting task for any writer or director. Adding too much or too little to the narrative would be the risk that would either overwhelm or be left sparse for the audience to digest and process. And with the life lived by Prince, which was innovative, challenging, and inspiring, how did the film achieve telling the story of Prince Roger Nelson as a universal story that could even serve as an example of how communities could rally together to ensure that future generations not only survive but thrive? How did the writer and director craft a film that documents, entertains, and engages the audience in equal measure to feel both the personal and universal story of Prince? As most Hollywood films follow a 3-act structure, this film had its own 3-act structure that was the thread that linked the life and events of Prince Rogers Nelson. The thread that achieved this narrative structure was looking at Prince through the 3 communities that played the largest parts of his life. The first community that made the first act of the film was his childhood community in Minneapolis, and the community center that cultivated his talents. The Way was a community resource center that played a significant role in Prince's early years. It opened in 1966 and became an incubator for neighborhood talent in North Minneapolis. The music room at The Way hosted local bands, including The Family, led by Sonny Thompson. In the mid-1970s, it hosted Battle of the Bands competitions and concerts by rival bands like Grand Central and Flight Time, also known as The Time. The center provided a creative space for young artists and musicians, contributing to the vibrant music scene in the area. The Golden Gloves boxer instrumental in building The Way was Spike Moss. Along with other community leaders, he co-founded this non-profit community center for Black youth in Northside, Minneapolis. The Way provided a gathering space for young people, including Prince, who frequented it after school, quietly observing older kids as they jammed and honed their talents. The second community that makes up the second act of the film was his bandmates and fellow musicians. In this second act, we see how the influence, education, and mentorship from Prince's time with The Way blossomed into the global icon that Prince became through hard work, tenacity, creativity, and focus. One of the stories I felt was most impressive was the story of Prince making terms with his record company to not promote him as a black artist because he wanted to show everyone that he could play anything. Dance, sing, play musical instruments, act, perform. Prince's talent and hard work knew no bounds. Through the various interviews of Prince's peers in the music industry, it was also apparent that the man worked hard. The third community, then, in the act, was the community he built with his fans who came from all walks of life to visit Paisley Park. In fact, instead of calling them fans, Prince coined the term fams to further strengthen his connection with his fans. My favorite story that the film offers about Prince's interaction with his fans was the story of his conversation with a young fan who asked him if he liked math. The mentorship that Prince experienced in his own youth perhaps helped Prince to answer the young fan's question with something simple and profound. No math, no universe. No universe, no art. As far as I'm concerned, Prince is the king. Mr. Nelson on the North Side includes rare footage of Prince that include glimpses of his life behind the scenes, his creative process, and moments that showcase his extraordinary talent. Whether you're a devoted fan or just curious about this iconic artist, the documentary offers a unique perspective on Prince's legacy. Whether you're a devoted fan or simply curious about the life of Prince Rogers Nelson, this documentary offers a unique and heartfelt experience. And if you're a writer, this film, Mr. Nelson on the North Side, offers a unique take on the three-act structure, which involve the three communities that have influenced the main character throughout his or her lifetime. Other than those 2 points, I really recommend this film because, hey, it's Prince. Thanks for listening.